Alright, hello! I am Wallaber, and this is, what is this, like episode 10 or so of making a simple Twitch chat game. In my case, making it in Unity using an API called TwitchLib. We're just going to kind of jump right in where we left off, making good progress. The basic game flow is in, and trying to make the sequence showing scoring changes and stuff now be sort of polished and work well. And so the first thing I need to do is well, let's play the game once just to remind ourselves where we're at and what it looks like. So here we go. What happened is this ball is going to bounce down and eventually go in bucket 1, bucket 2, or bucket 3 down there. And right now, if you wanted to predict what bucket would go in and you put in your vote, you get 1,000 points for voting so early. Now it's switching to 750 points, and we're going to see much more of the trajectory of the ball. And this looks like it's going to be a tricky one. And so all you have to do to participate as a member of the viewers of the Twitch stream in the chat is you would just literally just type in 1, 2, or 3 as your chat message to signify which bucket you think it's going to go in. And this is a tough one. I'm going to guess 1. You can see I have some fake players in here right now to sort of simulate what it would be like with a larger audience watching and playing. But you can see there I voted and it showed up. Then see, now it's only 100 points because this is giving us lots of information. And then finally, here's the reveal. The 0 points thing is the reveal. And it shows the whole actual path. And then we get this, which is sort of a temporary setup there where it showed something about all the players and their scores. And so this is what we're going to start tweaking. And even just as a start, I'm going to change the colors a little bit so they stand out more. Let's actually add a third color just to see what this looks like. Later, I'm actually going to go look up some proper palettes and things. Let's see. Let's vote 2. Okay, and so the pace of this game is quite slow because the goal is that it would be played kind of like while whatever the normal stream content is going on, just kind of constantly going on the side, and people are participating in it and trying to rack up a high score. Alright, so let's see what this looks like now. Here we're going to get our final recap right here. Boom, boom, choom. Okay, see, that's already starting to look a little better. Maybe those colors are a little too vibrant. The other thing here is the layout. So I actually wanted to change this to be like 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. 7, 7, 8. So this is when it lays out all the players there on that recap screen, how many of them should be in each row. And I wanted to change this. I want to look at this and try to get these numbers to be a good starting point. Right now I think we have 16 or so players because I think I have 15 fake players. Let's go look. Yeah, 15 fake players in the game right now. So when we get our next recap here, we can check out if this layout is a little better. I want the top 3 in really big, and then, yeah, like that. Although, you know what? Let's see how this would look. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let's try this. What if we do this? 1, 2, 3. So that would be, let's see, and then 4. So that would be the top 10, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we go to like, yeah, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, something like this. So the player in first place is going to be huge right now. There's going to be a giant square at the top of the screen, possibly too big. And then it would be second place, third place, fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th would be the top 10, which might look kind of cool. We'll see. This is a problem that we've got too. Now there's a bug in the game where you see how this is only the 300-point vote, but already you can see the answer, and the 100-point vote is going too far. So I've got a bug somewhere in my detection for, like, the 100-point vote should be showing you, it shouldn't make it into a bucket yet. So if we have time today, we'll come back and look at that. Okay, so this can't show as much now, see? This can only fit giant player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're like out of space. So that's not quite gonna work. So maybe we do 2, 3, so that gives you the top 5 players, and that would look like this section here. And that would fit kind of in the space of the single player right now, which is probably better. So it would be like 2, 3, and then we go to maybe like 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Okay, so we're going to copy these changes I made. Paste that, because we're pretty happy with the general gist of it. Maybe we'll maybe, you know, I'll make the colors better at some point, but we'll just leave it like that for now. So now what we need to do is make that recap even clearer. And we have a bunch of things in here. I think that might be kind of hard-coded right now. Whoops. Why can't we see the code? There we go. Okay, anyway. Let's go find this sequence. So here's the general setup we've got right now. And we want some more control over the timing. So let's see here. There's a rack, there's our prefab, colors, players per line. So here, let's do some other things. We're going to have let's see, float delay after scores lost. Delay after scores gained. We're also going to need to know private float shuffle placement duration. And we'll see what these numbers should be. Because the idea is you see the screen there, it's going to highlight all the players who lost points, then highlight all the players who gained points, and then shuffle their positions and rearrange the leaderboard. So we're going to need a delay after that as well. Delay after shuffle. Okay. So now we've got some more parameters here. And here's our layout. So the other thing I want to do is I want to remember private class position. What are we going to call this? Rank. What is this going to be? This is going to be tile placement. Okay, and it's going to have just a position and a scale. And we're going to generate a list of these. So this is place positions. The reason I'm doing this is we have this function called layout now, where we actually, you know, work out where to place everyone based on those things I had, where I'm like, how many do I want in each row? And since I'm doing that here, and kind of like finally at some point here working out the position right here, and the scale here, I want to store that so that later when I need to shuffle things around, I don't have to redo this layout math. I can just say, oh, you want to go to second place? Well, second place was here. So that's the basic idea. And And so this should be pretty simple. What we're going to do is at the beginning of layout, what did I just call this thing? Place positions, clear it out, right? And then let's do this. So we're going to take this little piece of math right here and say float tile scale equals, put it there, and then do this. So that now down here, store this position, store the layout for this position. So this will be, we're going to do place positions.add, a new, what do they call it? Tile placement. And we need to pass in the position equals pause, and the scale equals tile scale. So now we have this list in memory that we can get back to when we need to do our shuffle. So now let's go here. And so what we do see first is we show, oh, I guess we're doing gain score first. So this should be wait, delay after scores gained. Then we show who lost scores. So this is going to be delay after scores lost. And then now shuffle. So that, and the other thing we need to do here is right here, we're going to sort the players, and the starting value for the players actually should be this. Their score coming in. This is their score before any changes that happened in this last round. So this should sort them in the correct order for being laid out the first time. Then what we do is here, shuffle to new positions. So we're going to resort this. And this time we're going to do what I did a second ago, where we say, actually, we want to know your score plus your change, and your score plus change. Okay, so now that we do that, we can actually loop through, and we can, so we'd be like this, for int I equals 0, I is less than player infos dot count, I plus plus. So we're going to loop through the player, right? PI equals player infos at position I. And we also need the tile. So this is player tile. Oops, not this. Recap tile. This is the visual prefab that actually is like their, you know, name and score on the screen. So this, we need to call this helper function I have called find tile, where you pass in the player ID. Okay, and then we need to animate this tile. So animate to the new position. So this is going to be, and yeah, I have a couple things I'm probably going to want to do here. We're probably going to want some sorting logic. Yes. So let's think about that. I actually, let's go look at recap tile. So this thing knows about all of its pieces, right? So we could do a thing where, like, let's add a method, setup. Let's add a method called public void set sorting for rank int r. So this is going to be their like position. Yeah. Although ideally we would like to know how many players. Let's see. Because a higher number draws on top, but I want player 0, like the player in first place, to get the highest number. So what we need is we need to know the max number of players so we can subtract that. So I guess what we'll just do is we'll pass in player count. So then what we could do here is we can actually go talk to these different things. So we could say, for example, and we know we have roughly 3 like sub layers of priority for this thing. because you have the backing, you have their profile image, then you have the text. I guess we have 4 actually. We have 4. So let's do this. Int base order is equal to player count minus r times 4. So that gives us some room. We find the thing and then we spread them all out by 4 so that we have intermediate numbers we can use. And then we can say backing dot, what is it, sorting order equals base order plus 0, right? This is just our basic thing. And the next layer forward is the profile sorting order equals base order plus 1. And then the username is base order plus 2. And also the score, what is it? User score is going to be base order plus 2. And then the score change is dot sorting order is base order plus 3. Okay, cool. Does that work? Oh, not dot sprite asset. Sorting order. Okay. So that's our little helper method. And then what we can do is we can go up here, and when we're laying them out for the first time, we can set this. Set sorting for rank, and their rank is I, and this is player infos.count. Okay. And then we're going to have to do the same thing again here. So after we have sorted them, we're going to come into here, we're going to update the sorting, and then we're going to animate them into position. And let's just do this simple for now, and then maybe we can try and tweak the animation and make it even better. So we're just going to do ptile.transform.do what is it? Oh, I need to include my tweening thing, which I'm just using this thing called do tween. It's actually the first time I'm using it. Normally I tend to like write my own weird code for lerping and tweening things, but I wanted to try out do tween. So do local move. Now let's do this. What did I call this? I called it the tile placement. New placement equals place positions I. And so this is where we want to move to. We want to move to new placement.position. So that's what we want. We want a local move going to there, and we want it to be shuffle placement duration. Okay. Then we also want do scale. And we want to be vector 3.1 times new placement dot scale. And this is going to have the same duration. Like that. Now both of these we might want like, I don't know what kind of easing we want. Like we probably just want in out, like an ease in, ease out, right? In out quadratic, maybe in out sign. It's usually pretty cool. Let's try that. Okay, so in theory, and then then all we need to do is down here is we need to wait. And we need to wait the delay after shuffle. Okay, and then we're also going to go back to the tile here and we look at we need to look at these animations eventually and potentially make them look a little better. Where's the shake thing? Shake position. Vector 3 for strength. I like that better. Let's turn this into a vector 3. So we can control the shake in each axis. Okay, now is this otherwise going to be happy with this override? Looks like it. Okay. All right. So let's go back here, and now should have some new properties here. Yeah, delay after score loss. So let's show things that are a little bit slower here. 2 seconds, 2 seconds, and shuffle for 1 second, and then pause for 5 seconds. Let's try that. Okay. All right, let's test it. So this is good that I've got these fake players in here because they provide us with a bunch of random votes that allow us to see what's going on. And I probably should speed up the voting so I can test these things a little faster. Let's actually go ahead and do that. So let's go here to Game Manager. And we have this section called Reveal Steps, which shows how much of the playback... Actually, this is bothering me, so let's go look at this real quick. So when we start the simulation, let's go here. Go capture state count does get reset. I'm wondering why we have that problem where occasionally the ball goes too far into the thing. Yeah, that was really eloquent description of the problem. Let's go look at this real quick though. So what we do is we set frame count to 0. We try to simulate the ball going into the thing. We work out how many frames were involved. But that's actually just so that we can max out in a rare scenario where there's a board where the ball cannot reach the bucket. Okay. Then we go to the revealing state. The revealing state resets everyone's votes. And then looks at captured frame count in order to work out which frame range it's going to use. So that all kind of makes sense, right? Yep, that's just returning this, which does get reset when you call start recording. Okay. Alright, well, I didn't see anything obvious there, so we'll come back to that and debug it more thoroughly later. Oh, but what I was going to do before I hit play here is I was going to set these to be really short for now, just so we can test. We're going to say that you only get 2 seconds per voting segment here. And we'll just let the fake players like vote really fast. They're not going to get to even see the whole trajectory here. Oh, this one was a straight shot. Look at that. It's even there. That's way too far. Okay, nothing... Oh, they did move. Look at that. Not bad. I feel like we didn't see the animations where they showed that they gained points. So let's watch this again now. Okay, so it goes in. Now let's look at this. So if we look at the console log, we can see that according to this, Faker 3 got it right, Faker 6 got it right, Faker 7 got it right. So here's 6, here's 7, and we're not seeing... Oh, we did see their numbers count up, but we didn't see the little plus animate. We did see the numbers increase, though. And then people that got it wrong... Yeah, there you see the negative 375, negative 50. Animation isn't that great. But that happened, and then we look at that for a second, and then there's a shift. Okay, so that's not too bad. Let's go look at our let's see, let's pause it before it completes this. Let's go look at our prefab for the recap stuff. Can I look at this right now? I can't open a prefab in play mode? Guess not. It's a bummer. Okay, so first off, we're gonna want to change the shake. The shake is not that great. I think the reason is this needs to be a bigger number. I think this is like the frequency of it. So I want this to be much faster. So let's try like 40. And I think it should just be a horizontal shake. So we're going to get rid of the Y component and just have it do the X component. Okay, now let's go look at the code. Why might the positive score change not be doing anything? So we're supposed to be fading in. Oh, score change dot enabled never gets set to true. No, yes it does. It does right there. Never mind. I set it to true right here. Okay, so we're supposed to be fading in to an alpha of 1.0 from 0, which is the same thing we do here. Then we're doing a local move to the home position plus a bounce height for a certain amount of time from the home position's Y. Then this is probably the bug. Is this? No, this is the display score. That's working. Never mind. Then we fade out the score change. And then when the whole thing is done, we set score change enabled to false. Okay, nothing obvious. So what we're going to want to do then is we're going to want to actually watch this happen real time and try to investigate what's going on. So let's go back here. Let's make sure we still have our short steps. We do. And we changed some of the numbers on this. We did. All right, so let's run this again. Okay, so very fast reveal here. And looks like it's going in bucket 3 to me. Yep, so here's the final reveal. Okay. Okay, so let's find someone who got it right. It says here that Faker 2 got it right. So let's go find Faker 2. Where are they? Right here, Faker 2. Yeah, and we're already in the middle of... no, I don't want that. I want this. Yeah. So here is Faker 2, right? Where is their score change? Oh, it's way up here. Okay, so let's watch this. Yeah. Going up too high and fading out. Okay, so something is off with the home position stuff. Let's look at this. So we go here, this tile thinks that the, where is it? Score change home position is 0, 0, 0. Score change. And if we look at score change right now, first of all, it's at 2. That's weird. 0, 0, 0 would be right there. Okay, so that's not getting cached properly. Where does that happen? Where is that? Score change. Wait, where even is this? This. Oh, it's right here. Okay, we're not actually initializing this. Okay, cool. So we can do that in setup, because we do this after we instantiate it. So this should be good enough. So we can say score change dot local dot transform dot local position. Okay, so that was probably that. Okay, so let's run this again. All right, here we go. The ball's bouncing. People are putting in votes. This is going in bucket 2, obviously. Well, maybe not, actually. Based on that trajectory, it might be at bucket 3. It is. Okay, so it goes into bucket 3, right? Like that. Boom. Some people game score. That was cool. Some people lost score, but losing score doesn't mean anything on this in this case because it was 0. Okay, this one's going directly into. See, look at this. Look at this. Sim should never make it this far. So we have a problem. All right. Well, we're probably gonna end up debugging this today because that seems weird. Some people lost. There we go. Okay, this is starting to look a little better. We may need also a maximum number of players we can even show, so that it doesn't just like explode if someone were to play this on a really big stream. Alright, so we need to tune the timings on all this, because the timings are not great. So first off, okay, we need, let's go to our recap sequencer. We need a delay before we even do anything. Intro delay. Okay, alright, now let's go tune some of these numbers. So, I need to be like fading or something. We could probably put in a quick little fade, a quick little like full screen fade or something, just to make the transitions look a little prettier. It might even be cool to build in the places. Ooh, that would be cool. Let's do that real quick. That would be fun. So let's do this. Intro delay, and then we're going to do private float. What's this going to be? This is going to be tile. No, that can be over on the tile side. So this would be delay between. Let's make this a curve. So this is delay between tile build-ins. What a great name. Okay, and so what we're going to do here is when we create the tiles here, well, not here, we're going to create them all and place them, right? But then we're immediately going to go into here, and we're going to reveal tiles. So this is going to be, I guess we could just, for each, no, for, let's go in order with an int. We might need the I here to know which spot we're on. Okay, and then we're going to get the tile. Like this. And we're going to go ptile.reveal, which is going to be, the animation is going to be handled by the tile. And then we're going to say delay equals, what did I call it? Let's call it, since I'm calling it reveal down here, let's call this between tile reveals. Okay. So this can be cool because this can be like non-linear. So we're going to reveal the tile, and then we're going to look up into this curve. And it's going to be a normalized value. So it's going to be float I divided by float player infos dot count minus 1. So this will go from 0 to 1. So this curve is going to say, you know, over the course of however many players there are, what's the like pacing. It might be better to, we'll leave it like that. And then we're just going to say yield return new wait 4 seconds, whatever that delay was. Okay, so then a recap tile needs a public void reveal. And we're going to have a thing up here, which is private float reveal animation duration, right? Which is going to be, you know, like, I don't know, 0.33f or something, maybe 0.2f, we'll see. Fifth of a second. Pretty quick, like whoop, right? And then all we got to do here is just do transform.do scale. And we want to scale up to whatever our current transform is, transform.local scale. And this is the reveal animation duration, but we want to go from vector 3.0. So we're going to pop our scale to 0 and scale in. Okay. Cool. All right, now let's go back here. So now what we want to do, and then back in recap sequencer. After we do this, we want to wait for the intro delay. Or actually, now we need another delay. The intro delay is before we do anything at all, in case we need a delay there, and then this is going to be, what is this? Delay after reveal. Okay, so we need to define this. Okay. All right. So now we can start to try and make this feel a little better. So first off, it's going to pop up and wait 1 second. Then it's going to reveal these tiles. And here's the idea: is like, okay, I want it to go slow, and then speed up, revealing the last tiles, right? So this at the very end, we would say the delay between reveals should be like 0.05 or something, right? But at the beginning, the delay should be doom, 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 right? Doom, doom, doom. So that's like half a second. And then what kind of shape do we want? I think we want something like this, but we might want to make this not 0.1. Like actually hit the top speed a little sooner down the list. You can set this to flat. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, and we'll see how that feels. So we wait a second, we reveal them in like that, then we wait 1 more second. And I think we'll delay 1 second between these other things. Now let's go look at our recap tile. Okay, the score change animation was actually a little on the fast side. Let's make it 2 seconds. And let's make our reveal, let's leave it at 0.2 and see how it looks. Okay. Alright, so let's test this. So now we should have, boom. Okay, everyone's voting. Here we go. One more example. It always seems to work on the first try. But it might, I don't know. I gotta figure it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, now everyone's revealing in, and of course their origin is in the top left, so that looked kind of dumb. And we had a long delay there because no one lost any score. That's not too bad though. Let's watch now a more representative case here where some people are going to get it right, and we'll actually see there, it's too far. It's too far in. Okay, this is our busted reveal. I like the timing of it though, it's pretty cool. The score going up is too high. That thing is wiggling way too much. Let's look at that real quick. So the score bounce height, let's make this 0.2. Let's make this vibrato like 15. See how that looks. Okay, here's our busted reveal. Okay, gaining score is looking better. This actually could even be like 0.15 maybe. Watch it again. Okay. See, that one's pretty good. That's about what I was hoping for. Okay. Gain score, nice. Okay, ugh. The last score looks really bad. Let's set the vibrato to 1. Let's see how it looks. I'm not quite exactly sure what vibrato means. I would think it means the shake frequency, but maybe not. Okay, so here's the 100 case. Are we going to get to see the whole thing? Okay. That was pretty good. Okay. I could probably build in a little faster. I like that. Ugh. Yeah, this shake is not great. We're gonna have to fix it. And we need to fix our build-in. Let's go here, and we actually want the build-in to be faster, which is going to be here on recap sequencer. So that's this curve. I'll maybe take a pass of that curve. Yeah, we're getting somewhere though. We're getting somewhere. Probably next time I want to try and get the support in for emotes, where you can pick an emote to be your sort of like profile picture. Okay, don't love the shake. But otherwise, okay, so the shake and the build-in, those are the fixes. So, did we change anything on this recap sequencer? No, except we want to change this. This delay is too long at the beginning. So let's say this is going to be more like 0.33. So it's a little bit faster. Now let's go fix the reveal. So first off, down here, what we're going to need to do is actually 2 loops through the tiles, which is a little, yeah. Let's see. Because I need them hidden until they appear. Yeah, okay, so we're going to loop through the tiles, and we're just going to hide them all. Okay, and then here, we're going to reveal it. Alright, and this is fine, but we need to move them at the same time. Or sorry, in the reveal we need to do that. We know our scale there, so let's go do that. Okay, yeah. So here, we can be like float final scale equals transform.localscale.x. So then we can say we also want to do transform.do local move. And we want to move to our current local position over the reveal animation duration, but from our local position plus plus final scale negative final scale 0. I believe that will give us the proper offset so that we will be acting as though we're scaling around our center point instead of their top left corner, which is actually where a pivot is. Okay, so let's run this and see how it looks. Should be a little faster build-in, and they should scale from their center now instead of from the upper left corner. I also need to get rid of this, we need to hide our little like text log here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, that's close. Yeah, quite close. Okay. Okay. Let's watch one more. Oh, is it because I'm doing 10 steps? I think I know why. It's overshooting. Pretty sure I know why. Okay, they're not hidden at the beginning, which is still a problem. And that, that shake is gross looking. So, yeah, okay. The reveals look pretty good, except now in our sequence here. First of all, we didn't save our changes. And this intro delay has to be here. Okay, and then also, Game Manager, we need to be hiding the log when we go into the reveal sequence. Vote meter gets turned off. Turn off the log. No, not here. Whoops. Or here, yeah, we should be like log.enabled equals true. And then down here, log.enabled can be false. Okay, and then we can go to our event log script and make it smart enough that when you disable it, so here's update. So let's just do something simple here. So void on enable and void on disable. Okay, and the way this works, right, is that we have all of our elements as little child objects, so we should be able to just hide them all for each, what is it, logged event. No, that's the actual list. That's not what I want. I want the lines. Yeah, okay. For each tmpro.textmeshpro line in lines, line.enabled equals false. Or equals true. True for this case, and false for this case. So now we should be, just by enabling, disabling the log, all of its like text objects will show and hide. Okay. And then we should have fixed the... Alright, so we need to fix this, this shake. Let's go have a look here. Shake. How much the shake will vibrate. How much the shake will be random. If true, the shake will automatically fade out smoothly. Okay. So maybe the problem is the randomness value, because I didn't... If we go look at the recap tile, our shake here, randomness is set to 90. So let's also score shake randomness. We're gonna need a value for that. So that's gonna be here. Apparently defaults to 90. And vibrato. How much will the shake vibrate? Alright, now we've got more variables we can tweak here, so let's try and get this shake looking a little better. Alright. So. What if I set the randomness to 0? What do we get? Okay, here we go. They build in. Look at that. Not bad. Okay, we're not going to see any negative shake stuff right now. We'll see it on the next round. The shuffle looked pretty cool. I think it might be cool if the ones that are going up in place come out and get a little bigger and then go down, and the ones that are going down in place like go get a little smaller and then come out. So we'll have to try that. Okay, that was closer. That was closer. So maybe we just need to like bring down the strength of the shake. Like let's make it a third instead of 1. I set randomness to 0 that time. I like that better. Let's see how it goes here. No. That could probably still build in slightly faster. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. That was close. I think it should shake a little faster, but a little less amplitude. So let's try this. And I think I know what was happening with the overshooting, so we should be able to get in a fix for that. Still occasionally getting artifacts in our line there. Have to take a look at that. This is quite the bouncy trajectory this time. Okay. Wow. Alright. Final reveal. Where did it go? Boom. Okay, here's the current standings. And boom. First place got some points. Okay, that was close. Let's put this back down to like 12 and maybe 0.25. Alright. Yeah, so maybe now we can try to do the thing where the ones that are moving up get a look like they're coming forward in space and then landing back in, and the ones that are going down look like they're receding in space and then going in. And maybe even darken those ones slightly, which might be kind of cool. Yeah, I like the built-in. Only like almost everyone got that wrong. New first place, look at that. So that was pretty dramatic. Probably be cool to do like a particle effect there or something. And maybe give the person in first place like some kind of cool effect. Ambient sparkles or something. Okay. Ooh, we had to balance off the top there. Okay. A lot of people got it wrong. Nice. Okay. All right, that is looking much better. So, let's go try and fix the sim problem. So I figured out what it is. At least I think I mentally did. So the thing is, here, let's go to Game Manager. So the simulation, right here. Okay. What this does is it hides the ball, and it like rapidly steps physics simulations to try and quickly determine where the ball is going to go and record its path. We are only checking. So what happens is it's simming in here, right? It's like sim, 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 and then at some point this callback gets called, and we realize what bucket the ball is going to go into. The thing is, if we're inside this inner loop here, we don't notice this. We don't care. And so we just keep simming up to however many sub-steps we're doing per frame into the future, past the point where we noticed the bucket. And so if that sim worked out where the ball was just before the bucket at the end of one of these inner loops, then the next loop we would sim a whole sub-step, even though we only needed one more update or two more updates to work out where the ball ended up. And so in those cases where you sort of get out of phase with my sub-step, you could get a recording that's too long. And then what we do is we chop that recording up into sections. Makes sense. Hello, Losing League, aka Combat Bird. How's this going? Thanks for dropping by the stream. This is not a... Oh, really? Thanks. Let me see if I can do something about that. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Looks like I'm still getting audio in OBS. Any change to the quality? I need to set up a way so I can hear myself, so I could have learned. You're coming through loud enough. Huh. Okay. But it's very robot-y. Interesting. Let's see, can I... Strange. Alright, I'll have to do some troubleshooting. Doubt that made any difference. Wait. Oh, really? Was it something on your side, perhaps? We'll see. I can check the VOD later, too. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. This is not... Oh, weird. Okay. So this is not Pro Gymnast. I'm making a small little project kind of as a present to myself after shipping Pro Gymnast, which is a little game that ultimately I will integrate into my Twitch streams that viewers can play while the stream is going on. We're actually at a pretty good spot here to do a quick demo of it. I was just going to fix this one issue here real quick. So what we could do here is we would say if bucket ID is greater than or equal to 0, we're going to break out of this. That little tiny thing should be the fix. Yeah, okay, so let me pitch my little mini game to you. So basic idea. Let's set these to better numbers now. Or I think we decided 15 seconds was kind of more appropriate. All right, so it's a prediction game. So the basic idea is this view on the right here would be somewhere sitting on the stream. And you're trying to guess what bucket down here on the bottom the ball is going to land in. In order to guess and play the game, all you have to do is just type that single number in as a chat message, like just 1, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter. Or you can do !1, like a command. They might have seen other streams. And right now I have like fake players that are voting. And you see this thing at the top, this timer. This is how long you have to vote right now, and if you vote during this window, your vote would be worth 300 points. And it starts showing you more and more of the trajectory of the ball. So it gets easier and easier, but you get less points for it. So now here's the 100-point option, which is it's going to show us almost all the way into the bucket, right? So there you might say, okay, yeah, it's going in bucket 1. Vote bucket 1. You'll see here it shows that Wallaber voted. And then we're going to see the reveal here in a second right now. We see the final reveal. It did go into bucket 1. And then we see all the players of the game pop in here. And people who got it right get points. People who got it wrong would lose points. And then it shuffles. And now we know Faker 8 is in first place. I got it right, but I'm down here somewhere lower. So feel free to give it a try if you can, or have the time. Oh dang, G-Rare coming in with a very bold bucket 2 vote early. Now you cannot re-vote. So if you try voting again right now, like let me show you. I'll vote a 3. This says Wallaber voted. Now if I say, oh, I changed my mind, it's actually 2. You guys were right. It's going to say Wallaber already voted up there, and so you're locked into whatever your vote was. Currently, I don't have any multiplier or anything, but I do want to have that. So if you're on a roll and you get multiple correct, you get some kind of like escalating points or something. And currently right now, if you get it wrong, your entire cumulative score gets cut in half. So it's quite punitive at the moment. Looks like it, oh my gosh. I think both G-Rare and losing the AK Combat Bird were correct, and it's going in bucket 2. Let's see. So now you should be here. You guys, this was your first votes, I think. Yep, G-Rare got 1,000. And is now in, like, what, 4th place or something. Here we go. So next one. So you can see how this would work. It's fairly slow-paced, but that's on purpose because it is intended to be happening during a stream. Like, this would just be constantly running while, you're doing whatever your dev stream is. This is G-Rare. I hope you're just testing the game, because clearly this is going in bucket 3. You do get some kind of clues too by how much trajectory you're seeing each time, because what it does is it takes the whole path the ball took, and then break it up into chunks and show you larger and larger chunks of it. So if each chunk is really fast, the ball didn't like bounce around a lot in the level, and it was like a straight shot. So that you can actually kind of use that to factor in to your guesses. So here we go. We're getting the 100-point round, and I can tweak all this. Like, I can decide how many steps are there, how many points are they worth, and what range of the path is shown. Here's the reveal. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. This probably should show what place you're in. Okay, we had some people gain score, we had a bunch of people lose score, so we're going to see some changes here. All right, I'm on second place now. G-Rare, you're in what, 6th? Ooh, see, look at this. The 1,000 vote round, it looks like it's going like on a short path, but this means there's going to be a lot of bouncing going on in this one. Because it's definitely going to bounce off that that bucket right there. Like the corner of the bucket. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. Okay, I think it comes off there. I think it's going to go in bucket 2. Now, one thing I need to do is to add in some... Ooh! It's going in bucket 3. Add in some delay grace period, because obviously the stream is delayed to most viewers a varying amount depending on what platform you're watching on and everything. Patience suckers. Nice, yes. So you will not lose points, but you're not going to gain very many either. So everyone's got a different delay. That's why I have pretty long periods of time where you're allowed to get your vote in. But there could still be the thing where if you vote, like let's say visually to you, we're halfway through the voting period and you type in your vote, but it takes so long to actually, you're actually so delayed that when we get that message, we've already moved on to the next voting bucket. Ideally, I want to attribute you back to the previous one. So my current thought is just to have a grace period where like any votes that come in the first n seconds, some number of the voting period, are actually attributed to the previous voting period. But this is pretty cool. We got this working pretty well now. So the whole loop is there. You can actually kind of like, I think the score recap looks pretty cool. I may want to stop it and run it again here in a second and crank up the number of fake players just to see, like, with the current layout, how many players can we fit on screen. Any plan for a leaderboard? Yes, I definitely want like an all-time leaderboard. So maybe like somewhere there's like a little banner at the top of this that would show like the all-time top 3 players, something like that. Austin Genevieve, hello. So if you want to vote, all you gotta do is just literally just type in the number by itself. Like if you think it's bucket 2, you just make a chat message that is just the number 2. Or you can do exclamation point 2 or exclamation point 1, exclamation point 3. No, if you have like words, so losing like your example right there where you have a message and a number will be ignored. Right now it's only gonna even consider a chat message that has a single character in it, and then it will try to turn that, make sure that's a number and make sure that's a valid number, and if so, it will consider it and make the vote. This is a tough one. I feel like it's probably gonna... I'm gonna wait one more. I'm gonna vote during this round. And it's going... Ooh. I don't know. 3. Who knows what that bounce is gonna be, though. Now, obviously, we're seeing the same layout over and over again right now. So one of the next things I need to build is a bunch of different layouts and have it randomly pick for them. It's still surprisingly fun, even with one layout, because I'm randomizing the ball's starting, trajectory. Sympathy Raid, hello! Sympathy Raiders, welcome in. Oh my goodness. All right, okay, so this is perfect timing. This is unbelievably perfect timing. Everyone coming in from Sympathy's channel, hello. I am Wallaber. I am a fellow video game maker, streamer, just like Sympathy. And in fact, I am like making something very similar to Sympathy. I'm making a chat game for Twitch. And my plan is to integrate it into my stream. So it's going to be this sort of little rectangular window you see over here. And eventually it would sort of be constantly in the stream, maybe like right above here or something. And don't worry, you don't have to type exclamation point play or anything. The depth of this game is not as deep as Sympathy's, but thank you so much for coming by. All right, I'll describe it real quick. So real quick, I'm Wallaber. I'm a game dev. If you want to check out an actual full real video game I recently made, I made a game called Pro Gymnast. You can see down below my head here a little trailer that's on loop of the video game. It's a gymnastics game. It's like co-op gymnastics. totally feel free to check that out. I did stream the last couple months of development of that game, and then since then I've just really enjoyed dev streaming, so I'm continuing to do it. Okay, so let's play the game. I'm going to actually this is the first time I've ever had this many people in the stream while I'm working on it, so I'm going to take out the fake players. Give me a second here, because I have this ability to put in fake players so I can test it, but let's try it with real people. Okay, so this is a prediction game. What you're trying to do is guess which bucket the ball is going to end up in. If you look up there at the top, there's like a number 1,000 right now. Right now, if you get in your vote, it's worth 1,000 points. Now we've moved to the 750 point range, and you see a little more of the trajectory of the ball. And then once we get to the next one, it's going to drop to lower score opportunity, but show you more of the ball's trajectory. So like maybe based on this, yeah, everyone's doing it, everyone's got this. I'm going to vote bucket 1. All you have to do to vote is just type in the chat message the one number. You can also do exclamation point. So exclamation point 1 would work, or exclamation point 2 would work. But you can also just type 1 or 2 or 3. And then we'll see here, this is the lowest range, 100 points. You can pretty much see the answer at this point, right? And you cannot revote. So once your vote is in, it's locked in. Which you can see there was feedback, hopefully, for some of you that said you already voted, so you cannot change your vote. Now let's see what happened here. So we got the score recap. Some people's scores went up and down, and now we're going to magically shuffle and see that, okay, G-Rare is in first place. Got it on the 1,000-point segment. Holy cow. All right, on to the next one. Now, right now, I don't have any different layouts. So we're going to keep seeing the same board over and over again, but the ball's starting conditions are different. So there are different... Oh, a bunch of people jumping in on the 1,000 segment. Now, one thing I would love feedback here... Oh, hey, Vimlark. Thanks for dropping by. Kai Kenshi, hello. A bunch of names I recognize from Sympathy Stream. What was I saying? I don't have new boards yet. I'm going to get new boards. Oh, so delay. I give you this period of time here to vote to try and account for the delay in streams, right? So if you see it and type it, hopefully there's enough time that your vote gets put in the right bucket. But there's still the case, I think, where I need to put in some more support for handling that stream delay. My current thought is I would add in some code that says like if if visibly on your screen it was halfway through the voting period and you typed in your vote, but you were actually on a delay and it was actually on the next segment, then I would try to attribute it to the previous segment by having some kind of grace period. So when the game is running, when it sees a vote come in, it's like, hey, are we less than 3 seconds into the voting round? If so, attribute it to the previous one. Like let's err on the side of generosity, which that should be quite easy to do. I just need to put in like a threshold and decide that number and set it up. But this is actually the first time today where we've really got the game kind of fully, the whole flow is working, and especially that recap screen, I just got that mostly working today. Let's see. It's nice to see. Yeah, so what is the condition for losing points? Oh, good question. So basically, yes, losing league, thank you for the response there. So right now, there's no multipliers. I would like to add multipliers, so if you're right consecutively, you should have some kind of escalating score, but I haven't decided what the math should be for that. And right now, if you're wrong, your current cumulative score is cut in half. So it's quite punishing. And my logic behind this is that basically this is supposed to be running during the entire stream, right? So I'm doing a dev stream, I'm making some video game, and this is running. Oh, dang, Vimlark is currently in first place. Let's see what happened here. Oh, but Friend Master 200 got it right, and Vimlark got it wrong. We're going to see a big change here. Boom. Oh, yeah, and so the pace is kind of slow, and I kind of like the idea that you often will lose points, but then you can regain them back over the course of the stream, so it's kind of this ongoing, hopefully fluctuating leaderboard. Now you're seeing in the recap just little temporary human icons or whatever. Pyro Dark Matter, my score never showed. Ooh, okay. Thank you for mentioning that. Let's take a look at that. So right now, it just shows like a little like placeholder icon. And here's what I was thinking for that. My thinking was that you could have a command where if you type, I don't know what the name of the command would be. It would be like profile or something like that. So you would be like !profile space, and then you drop an emote in there. Then that emote's image would become your icon. Because I know a lot of viewers on Twitch don't necessarily have like specific profile pictures that they've created. So I thought maybe using emotes would be kind of cool. Let's see what happened here. Are we going to see a Vimlark resurgence or not so much? Okay, fair amount of movement down in the lower brackets there. Yeah, so okay, so Pyro Dark Matter. Yeah, I didn't see you in that list. Let's pause it at the end of the next one. That would include emotes from other servers. Yeah, definitely. I think it should be any emote you have access to. I do need to look up how I do that. But I don't imagine it's too difficult. Ooh, this one's going to be tricky, everyone. This is going to be tricky. I think someone asked earlier, how are you drawing the trajectory? So currently, all of the graphics in this game are using a library you can get on the asset store called Shapes, which is created by another fantastic dev streamer named Freya Holmer, who I watch all the time, and she's fantastic and really, really smart and does the best dev streams. And she made this really cool vector graphics package called Shapes recently. And so I thought this project would be a great example to use it. Oh, Fire Dark Matter, it showed that time? Okay, let's look here. Let's look here. So is everybody there? And also a readability question. I would guess that towards the bottom here. Oh, Sympathy, you gotta go. Take it easy. Thanks so much for the raid. That was exciting. It was the most perfect timing ever to test out the progress on the game. Have a good night. So readability wise, I would guess that on the stream it's pretty hard to read some of the smaller text. Also, the colors probably aren't helping too much either, right? We can test that real quick. We could change these colors. I was trying to make it so that it can handle showing with this sort of like scaling down thing, like a pretty large number of people, but kind of really emphasize the players that are at the top kind of thing. Ideally, once we have the emote thing built in, it should be a little easier to at a glance see where you are. But maybe I need to make the scores a little bigger compared to the size of the squares, just to make it so that if you want to glance and like understand your score, that's a little more doable. And I probably need your actual place, like number here somewhere, right? Scores are pretty easy to read at this level, but usernames can be a bit blurry towards the bottom with long names. Yeah, so we can take a look at what's actually happening down here, right? Like, and we're wrapping in some cases as well, which is, I guess, preferable to shrinking the text even more to fit in a square. How about top 5 icons, the rest just ordered text? Oh, that's an interesting idea. That's a cool idea. Yeah, I really like the layout of the top 5 here. You get this nice visual of like the top 2, get these really big ones, and then the next 3 are there, and I think that fits really well. But yeah, maybe making the rest of this space down here dedicated to just text is kind of cool. Now I have to think a little bit about how I would do my cool shuffle and stuff. Like if you leap from ninth place to second place, like what do? I guess I just create your tile there out of nothingness or something. But I do like that idea quite a bit. Maybe even it could be like 2 columns of text down there or something, so you can fit like a pretty large number of players. Yeah, I like that idea quite a bit. Yeah, initially I thought this tile was going to be really visually striking, and it is, but I do agree that the readability, if you drop off the top 5, your tile explodes. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, ideally there could be more feedback for sure on all these things. One potential issue seems like it's very easy for lots of players to end up with the same score. So that is true. And that is definitely a side effect of that. I want to give you time to compensate for the stream delay. Because like another way I could do the game is I'm just slowly showing the trajectory of the ball, and the score is going down, counting down constantly, right? And whenever you get your vote in, that's the points you get. But that would really cause a problem for people with varying delays, and I can constantly imagine everyone complaining like, oh, I got too much lag, I'm on mobile or whatever, So that's where I do think multipliers could come in. Already you can see the scores are starting to spread out a little bit just as a result of that your score gets cut in half when you miss one. But I do need to decide how much, like what should be the opposite of that, right? What should be the bonus for a streak where you're getting it right all the time? Is it a multiplier? Is it like just a bonus value that escalates? Yeah, I love all these brave viewers voting here on the first 1,000 segment. Yeah, so the to-do list, I think I really like the suggestion of changing the layout of the recap screen, so I'm definitely going to think through how that should work. I do like that idea quite a bit. And we could even include the emote still, just really small, like next to your name. Ooh. And we see that, look at this, there's this little bug here where occasionally the line gets some kind of a like an error in its pathing here. I'm not quite sure. I think it's just because the points are so close together that it miscalculates something. Ooh, this one's going in too. Looks like we had a few people that got that vote in early. I also think that little thing that prints out when you vote should probably show the score, so you know that where you got yours in for. Ooh, 2100. Is it Pyro Dark Matter or Pyro Dark Matter? Closing in on the leaders there. Whoa, look at this one. No idea. I would be like 3. And then I would love some other ideas. So my basic to-do list is continue to polish it, get the emote thing working, make some more boards and randomize the boards, and then a pass on the scoring system and the timing and the grace period thing. That's kind of the known list. I would really like it. So one of the things that's kind of missing is the investment you can have in something like Sympathy's game, right, where you have your own marble that you can unlock and you can, get a different skin and things like that. Now this game doesn't have as much opportunity for that, which is okay. It's just it's an outcome of the design. But it would be kind of cool maybe if there was something beyond maybe just that global leaderboard to kind of reward hanging around and being a part of the game and as part of the stream for a long time. Also, I need to decide about AFK. So obviously on streams, right, people are going to come and go. So what do I do about AFK? Right now, nothing happens. It just your score just stays completely static. I was kind of thinking, because we want people to be able to the leader to switch and change hands many times, that if you're AFK once, twice, it's fine, but maybe the third or fourth time, it starts dropping down. Very novel idea. This is addictive. One of the best overlay games I've seen. Oh, that's great. Thank you. And that's very cool to hear. Yeah, I like the idea, and I'm glad after I coded it up here that it's, it's kind of working generally how I imagined. It's easy here to see we can still kind of converse with chat, and you can fit chat messages in, and it's not totally taking over the chat. But it is kind of something interesting to sort of, oh man, is that going to just squeeze into bucket 3 or what's going on here? I think I like that balance, and I'm curious to try it actually running on a stream. I'm close now to the point where I could make a build and integrate it into my actual stream layout and try that. I mean, I guess at this point there's no reason I couldn't do that. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe there's something I could try to think of that would give you some long-term investment. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this profile pick. Like maybe I could actually just make like unlockable things or something. But I kind of like the emotes. Emotes are such a Twitch thing. I don't know. And then I would really love to think of something cool that could happen in the game when the channel gets raided. And so I'm trying to think of something interesting that could happen when a raid comes in. That kind of like suddenly makes the game really about the raider and the new people that showed up. Multi-ball. Ooh, dang, multi-ball is a really good idea. I should write that down. I don't know what you would be voting for. I guess you'd be voting for which bucket gets the most. But multi-ball is worth writing down to think through what that could possibly be. Yeah, I was thinking otherwise, like, make it so you can bet your points. Oh, that's interesting. Like, it's like a boss fight that comes in. It's like when the raid comes in, it does that, like, warning, like it's a boss fight, and then it acts like, ooh, maybe we can make the ball be the, like, raider. Like, it has the name of the raider. And then everyone has, like, a chance, to maybe, like, decide how many of their points they want to bet or something. That's kind of interesting. Each part is a fixed percent of the path, so short paths are the most obvious trajectory. Yes, they are, Helpful Stranger. That is absolutely the case. And I'm still deciding if I like that or not. I think it's kind of cool because it adds a little bit of a skill element to it. Like, as you get used to it, when you see, like, if the trajectory for each voting segment is really short, then the whole path for the ball is short, and that helps you kind of, like, mentally project. Like this one here, there's definitely bounces after this. Because look how much time we're getting per segment here. And it's probably going to hit that thing down there. Yeah, and get a pretty wild bounce. Yeah, losing league. So that's what I was talking about being AFK. Like, I think if you don't vote for some number of rounds, we keep your score. But then maybe we start either counting you as missing, or there's like an AFK thing that shows up at that end result screen. It's like AFK, and then in parentheses how many times you've been AFK, and after a while it like starts reducing your score or something. Yeah, I know. I want to balance it with lurking, but I also want the leader to change a bunch. Like if you came in and had a great streak and you're just in first place and then you just sit there the whole time, like maybe that's cool because you did great, but I think it's kind of more fun if the leader's constantly changing and that gives people something to talk about. Right, because right now there's no penalty for AFK. So if you have a good score, it would almost incentivize you to not play because you don't want to lose points. So I do need to think of the AFK solution. Kind of like a weirder idea for a raid I was having was like, I could use the name of the raider as the seed to my random generation system, and I could generate a random board that's like specific to that raider. Might be kind of cool. It's like, look at this, you get your own special board. Another concept for reward. If you could tie it to reward points redemption, you could integrate it even more. Yeah, Twitch channel points. I think I can. So maybe there could be some kind of thing where there's like a threshold where if you achieve a certain score, you get like some points or something like that. I need to look into how I can programmatically grant Twitch points. Pretty sure I can do that though. This is looking pretty good. Yeah, I feel like the next thing I want to get in is the emote thing. So this screen is more visually interesting. I also need to go look up some like some nice palettes and like Vimlark always suggests, and go find some nice palettes and then just map the palettes to the game so the whole game suddenly looks pretty instead of just random colors I've been choosing as I developed it. Yeah, so I mean that's the basic idea. I don't know if I have a small task I could do right now to sort of cap off today's work. Today was mostly before the raid. We made some good progress on the recap screen. Perhaps solve AFK by not solving. Just allow a momentum-based score. I suppose this would be a consecutive streak. A streak would allow a number 2 too close to the distance to number 1 If number 1 isn't vigilant, right. Yeah, if they're hanging around, their score's not changing, I guess. Then if you have streak bonus, you could pass them. Yeah, or maybe like getting it wrong is really strong right now. It's a 50% that your score gets cut in half. I could make the AFK just sort of like decrease at a constant rate, so you're just like slowly losing ground. Yeah, I think that the pointy thing in the line happens when the angle of the Bezier is larger than 90 degrees. Yeah, and it's probably I'm already actually like I have the position of the ball for every single physics time step. When I draw the line, I'm like skipping a few points to try and that cleaned it up quite a bit. But there's still cases where the ball radically changes direction and you get some weirdness. And so I probably just either need to make it skip even more points or something, and maybe make it a little smarter so it skips points, but it keeps points where the line changes directions. Yeah, because I'm using shapes, as I mentioned, and so you can see here, like if I pause it, sorry everyone. Where is it? This. So this trail is a polyline with shapes, and I'm using the bevel thing for how it sort of caps off the line. Like I think if I change this, for example, to simple, you'll see now you get these like pinches in the line. And so simple will probably never have those artifacts, but you get these weird pinches in the line. If I set this to miter, you get these like sharp ones that I think it has like a limit, like it won't miter if it's too far. So maybe that would be an option as well. If I set it to round, you get rounded edges, but this one definitely has scenarios where it can't handle it. And you can see already, like there's even things like this where it's like struggling with such an acute angle here with the coloring. And so I had it on bevel, which was working okay. Part of it is that the line is kind of thick, and so when you have like sharp angles and a thick line, you really run into some tricky math to decide what to do in those scenarios. And if the points are really close together, yeah. I don't know how many iterations you've ran, but one seems to be pretty rare. It's hit once in the last... Oh, you mean literally bucket one? Yeah, I think that's a factor of the layout of that board. That board is pretty... It's just, it's just like statistically less likely to produce a bucket one. One of the... So yeah, the two big things that I've got to do, right, is I got to get the like emotes in so you can see yourself a little better. And then I need more board layouts in before people make an Excel sheet with odds per board. That's true. Now, yeah, it would have to be odds because I am randomizing the starting position and velocity of the ball, which is how we're able to get any interest out of this single board right now, because we have different starting conditions for the ball. Yeah, definitely going to have way more board layouts. I want to have like cool stuff like little pinball bouncers and stuff that actually like bounce the ball with more velocity than it had coming in. Maybe like little rotating objects where it can hit and sort of cause them to spin, things like that. So that'll be fun. This is the board layouts are definitely on the list, and they just haven't got to them yet. And I'll need to get the code going to actually randomize the board layout choices and stuff. Just in case you hadn't seen it earlier, ball modifiers could be interesting if they were rare. Yeah, I like that idea quite a bit. Like I kind of want maybe to make it so that like the ball has some different visuals. Like if it looks like a tennis ball, then it bounces like a tennis ball. If it looks like a ping pong ball, it bounces like a ping pong ball. Maybe with the size changing, but maybe not changing the size, but just changing the properties. And if it looks like a bowling ball, then it's going to bounce very, nowhere near as much, that kind of thing. And I think that could be fun too. That could be an additional factor, right? So you have the board and then the ball type, which we may need to display somewhere, or maybe give you a prep ahead of time so that first voting period isn't too stressful. It seems like, does anyone have any feedback on the delay with voting? Is it like a frequent occurrence that you're trying to vote in one score, range, and it's actually like getting attributed to the later one. Or maybe you can't tell right now because it's not letting you know. Let's actually do that real quick. Just since we actually have some people here, let's do this real quick. So when a vote comes in, which is down here somewhere. Get rid of this breakpoint. Right here. When the vote comes in, and we actually believe it's a real vote, which is right here, let's add in the vote amount. So we'll just put this in like parentheses or something. Current vote score. And maybe I need to change this to be longer so we can fit a little more text. Okay. Let's see what it looks like here with it actually displaying the score for your vote when it comes in. Or does it not? Did I screw that up? Oh, yeah, duh. Hang on. Hang on. Put it in the wrong spot. I think the game's still running in the background. We need a plus there. I only did it to the debug log. That was dumb. Let's see. This is probably going to break, so I'll rerun. Yes, I have the dumb plugin turned on for Editor Sparks. Okay, so that's cool. Right now you can see the points. So now let me know if and to what degree you're experiencing delay and if it's frustrating or not. Because there's a handful of things I can do, right? One thing is I can change how long each one of these voting segments actually lasts. That's very easy to do. That's just this right here, the reveal steps. So right now it's like go from 0 to 1/4 of the path for 15 seconds, worth 1,000 points. Then go from 0 to half the path for 15 seconds, blah, blah, blah. Looks to be about 25% of the bar in delay for me. Okay, so that's about, what, a little under 5 seconds. And that's on desktop? Okay. I wish that I didn't have to wrap the usernames, but I don't really know how to solve that problem. This is weird. Look, it gave it an upward trajectory. Oh, no, it didn't. It just came in so fast at the beginning that it bounced off the wall. Okay. I could make these sidewalls a little taller. I should do that. Oh, Vimlark, I think you are going to be disappointed with the result. Everyone is. This looks like it's definitely going in bucket 3. Here, I'm going to come in and snipe a 3 the last minute. Yeah, that one was misleading. Golden Canuck, thanks so much. The chat game looks great. Have a great night. Have a great night to you as well. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll see you again sometime. Vimlark, oh, bummer. I still haven't clipsed you though, so the rivalry can continue here. Let's see. Ooh. Really? Everybody voting 2 on this one, huh? I mean, 2 is the safest vote on this board, for sure. Friendmaster 2000, I like your thinking. But it's going to come off that wall. I think it's going to come off the wall, and then I don't know what it's going to do when it hits that little piece down there. So, I'll be the tortoise in this tortoise and the hare scenario. Vimlark with a bold 1. Not going to happen, buddy. Not going to happen. This is a glancing 2. Or it's a reboundy 3. Here we go. What is it? Ooh, it was a glancing 2. Yeah, so let's see. Losing league, you're gonna get 1,000 points, I think, for this, right? I guess 2 is a pretty safe bet on this board. Boom. Oh, but dang. Okay, we're gonna have a leaderboard shift here. This is why I don't gamble. Yeah, Mark, I'm with you. I like the Vegas in theory, and actually really, I find the game Craps to be fun when the table is like lively and there's a bunch of people there. But I don't like how quickly the money changes. Every now and then you can find a craps table with like a extremely low minimum bet, and that can be really fun just because the social experience is fun. But yeah, usually not so smart. Oh, this is a 2, everyone. Everyone's going to get this one. All right, I'll come in with my cheesy 300 point Johnny come lately vote. Right, it's not going to go up so high that it's going to bounce off the underside, is it? Ooh, it did, but it still didn't change the final outcome. Here we go, and that should say reveal instead of 0 points or something. Yes, so buckets, number of buckets is dynamic. So wait, the scores are gonna reset here because I'm gonna unplay. But watch this. So if we go to Game Manager and we say, no, we go to the board and we say, let's have 4 buckets. Go. Always vote 2. Here we go. Totally new world now. Look at this. 4 buckets. What? This is hard mode. You're still going with the vote 2. 2 is the safe bet. I mean, now it's going to be a toss-up between 2 and 3, right, on this board. Craps was the only casino game I liked. I only like poker with friends. Yeah, so, and in Vegas I had a bad experience where I was playing blackjack and like, you know, like I wasn't that familiar with it, and so I don't know, I said hit me too many times and drew out a card that if I hadn't called would have busted the dealer, and then suddenly the whole table was like mad at me. And I did not enjoy that experience at all. I like craps because you're either kind of like all winning or all losing, so the environment is usually kind of on the same page. This is going in 3. But yeah, changing the number of buckets already makes a pretty big difference. 3, there it is. Bucket 2 is no longer the pro strat. We could go down to 2 buckets as well. So I don't know if that's something that should just sort of randomly happen over time, or what. That could be a fun thing when a raid comes in too, is we go to max buckets and then crank up the scoring. So everything's worth like quadruple. So it just becomes this like crazy change. Figured out what's causing that audio bug. Ad blocker blocking mid-roll ads, which crashes the stream. Oh, nice. Yeah, mid-roll ads, those are the new controversy, right? Seems to me like it would be cool if they just gave the streamer something where it's like, somewhere in your dashboard it was like, hey, an ad is ready, you need to hit the button in the next 5 minutes, and so you could put yourself in a state where you're not about to do something really interesting to your audience and have a little more control over it. I've already seen a couple things where I was watching someone play my game, Pro Gymnast, and they were like playing this one of the hard levels, for like an hour, trying to beat it. And right when they beat it, it went to a mid-roll ad for me, and I didn't even get to hear them react after an hour. It was super frustrating, So that's kind of a bummer, and I don't know. It doesn't do it for everyone at the same time, I think, right? So as the streamer, you can't even really like react to it or know what's going on. So that's a bummer. Did that happen on Sympathy Stream too? It wasn't. In this case, my anecdote I was saying wasn't Sympathy Stream, but that doesn't surprise me that it happened on her stream too. There's some levels that take a long time, so they're like playing the same level for 30 minutes. I guess it's kind of likely that they might hit a mid-roll ad during that period, right? Okay, so I think showing the score is good, right? Also, you notice how they fade away like that? I could leave them up there for longer, like the little text that appears when you put in a vote. Did you make that game all by yourself? Pro Gymnast? Yes, basically. Of course, I mean, no one makes anything truly by themselves, right? So obviously I was using an engine, first of all, Unity, which helped a ton. Oh, here's a case where the 100 is really revealing the answer. I used Unity, and then I used a fair amount of like asset store things and stuff to try and make the game look like it was made by a team bigger than me. So I used like a asset to do a cool dynamic skybox and ocean rendering thing, so I could make my little beach environment that most of the game takes place in. And I found some assets for the actual human characters, which is a pretty cool system called UMA, which allows you to make those like Skyrim-style million sliders avatars in your game, which has been a really good choice. Lots of YouTubers and streamers really like playing with all the knobs and making their character look ridiculous or silly or whatever, so that seems to have really been worth it. You should consider selling this as a Twitch extension. Folks would definitely pay for this. Oh, that's good to hear, because I am a full-time indie these days, so this was mostly something I wanted to make to learn more about Twitch and to hopefully make my stream more interesting. But if there's potential audience for other streamers that would like to add to their stream, that's certainly something I would consider, because I would love any kind of additional revenue streams as I try to pull off indie as a full-time thing. Yeah, so that was the long answer. Muzzle Banana. I basically made the game myself. Yeah, all the code, all the level designs, all mine. I had a question about that. I assume that the character changes actually affect the physics. That is a placebo losing league. The characters do the slider choices do not affect the physics. They don't change the colliders. They don't change the mass. They don't change the strength. Choice between the male and female avatar has a very, very minor difference because the proportions are slightly different, but the mass for all the body parts, the strength of all the joints are the same. But it is definitely the case where if you make your character skinny, like you suddenly feel like they're lighter. But there is nothing going on there in the simulation to cause that. Yeah, I wanted it to be, fair and simple. Oh, look at this one. This one's pretty clear what's gonna happen. I'm gonna sneak in here and get my vote in. Unless there's a crazy bounce ahead in the future here, I think this is going in 4. Yeah, alright. So this is the first real playtest I've had. Thanks so much to Sympathy for the raid, because it gave me more people in the stream than I've had while I've been working on this. So we really got to test it and see what it's like to try and carry on a conversation while also playing the game. Seems like overall works pretty well. So that's cool. It's gonna bounce into 2. It might be good on this screen to have a thing at the top that says like what bucket it went into. Maybe even show what everyone's votes were. I don't know. Maybe that's too much information. Always with the early vote too. That strat is pretty good on this board. We need more boards. So this is good. I think next time I work on this, I'm not working on this every day. This is like very much a side project. But the next time I work on this, I'll probably try and get the emote stuff working. I can do a little research off stream on how to do that. And then probably just make some more boards and get the whole board swapping thing going in. I'd also like to add some transitions between the states. So it doesn't just like, the board doesn't just like disappear. Like maybe the whole board could like fall off the screen or do something cool or animate in some way. And then we go to the, the recap screen. I also need to try actually putting this in to my stream and have it running and see how it works. How much screen space does it take up? I've designed it to be really tall and skinny, so the idea is you put it on the side of your stream. And in theory, it can handle some amount of aspect ratio change. Let's test it. So right now I have it at 1:2 aspect ratio. Let's try 3:8, like ultra narrow. This is for the streamer whose screen real estate is at a premium. Ooh, okay. Oh, right. my layout system can handle it, but it's not automatically fixing it. Let me show you. So if I go look at the, sorry for starting and stopping, everyone. If I go to the test board here, this, I can change the size of this by just making it skinnier, and the board will scale properly to accommodate that. But right now I'm going to have to manually move the camera over to like center things. I guess what we're saying is if we wanted it this narrow, the board would be this size. And now if I run it, everything should fit and work on screen again. This is ultra narrow mode. Oh, except for my this thing. This is not being dynamically placed. There we go. And neither is the log, is it? Of course not. This would have to be like this. So here's ultra narrow mode. And it should be smart enough that if you make it narrow and you say like, if the ball couldn't fit inside those buckets, it would actually forcibly reduce the bucket count to make sure the buckets are big enough to fit the ball. Plus some gap that you can specify. This is ultra narrow mode. This is going to be way harder because it's way more likely to bounce off the tops of the little separators. But so yeah, I am designing it so it can handle at least a certain range of aspect ratio changes, and all the boards should still work. They won't break and stuff, which is kind of tricky because you could accidentally make a gap that's too small now to fit the ball and stuff like that. I may try to endeavor to make even like random board layouts, but not so sure about that. And see, even this screen, the layout survives. It just says, oh, okay, I've only got that much width now to lay out the players. And we can see it, we can test it here. If I turn on fake players, we can be like, yeah, let's say there's like 30 people who are actively participating in the game. Oops, and I'll quickly fake the layout fixes here. Oh wait, not that. I want to move this whole thing like that. And then this one's, I screwed this up. There we go. Get the vote meter back on. There we go. And so this is what it would look like more with like a larger group of people voting. And the recap screen, I did this so I can test the recap screen and stuff too to make sure the layouts work pretty well. Designing things for chat is pretty tricky because you have to be able to make it work with a really wide range of people participating, which is interesting. Like here, see if the votes are like come in really fast, you can get pushed off the bottom because I've got a maximum number of text lines there to show. Ooh, very pachinko-y right now. It'll be interesting to see what different layouts are fun as well. Like too pachinko-y is going to be too random and not as fun, but too obvious obviously is boring. So here's what it's like if there's a pretty sizable population. That build-in is probably a little too slow when there's a large group. And I do like the suggestion from earlier today of maybe doing just icons for the top 5, and then those little tiles just for the top 5, and then having like just a list of text below for everyone else. I think that's a cool idea. Yeah. That's where we're at with this. Really appreciate everyone's coming in and hanging out after the raid and participating and giving some feedback and helping me playtest the game. This has been really fun to work on. It's really fun to have something that's integrated with chat, just so that you can hit play and actually like have an interaction with people on Twitch is really cool. Like here, look, is this gonna fit? Is the ball gonna fit through there? This could be demonstrate. Yeah, okay. Well, it got bounced out, so we're saved. And straight into bucket 2. Austin, you are always going to be getting your bucket 2 redemptions here. Oh, was that from a previous one? That probably was from a previous one, actually. Yeah, screen gets a little busy with a lot of players, so I think the layout suggestions people made today is a good idea. Cool. Well, this is probably a good stopping point for me to... Oh, what happened here? This is super cool. If you ever need someone to test, I'd love to. Oh, okay, cool. Jim, like that would be awesome. Obviously, if you would like to test it out on your stream once I've got it working a little more, that could be really fun. You have such a great community around your streams. It feels like it might be fun. Maybe, you know, a nice change of pace, and you could test it out if you want. Of course, no big deal. Otherwise, let's see. I'm gonna set this back to. Yeah, there we go. So this is closer, and then I gotta fix my board here. It was 8 by 16 was the basic authoring size, and that means the camera needs to be at 4. There we go. Yeah, cool. So made some good progress on this today. We did an improved recap and layout. We did the later board changes and the shuffle. Cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of alternating working on this and Pro Gymnast updates. So this is like an every other day or so. I'm trying to get like an hour or 2 in on this game. So I'll make sure I set my my stream description properly though to whatever I'm working on. So feel free to come by again if you'd like to continue to play around with this, or hopefully in the future every time I'm streaming this thing will just be part of the stream. I'll have to redo my layout a bit. But yeah. So next time we'll probably make some more board layouts and get board swapping working, and then I want to try and get the emote thing working. I think that could be really cool. I wonder if I could have like emotes set. So like when you get it right, your emote temporarily switches to like a happy emote, and then goes back to the normal one. And when you get it wrong, it goes to like a sad emote or something. I mean, I suppose those could just be images baked into the game. It doesn't have to be a Twitch emote necessarily. But that might make it a little more like emotional, which would be cool. Like a when you got it wrong, and like a yeah when you got it right. That would be cool. All right, well, thanks again, everyone. I guess I should repay the favor and see if there's somebody we could say hello to real quick. I've got a few more minutes before I need to turn in. Let's see. You could say hello to... Man, if we want to just keep the Twitch integration train rolling, it looks like Callow Creation is streaming right now, and I know that's what he's working on as well. Yeah. Maybe we can go say hello. Let's see, I'm gonna let really this ad play for me so that by the time we get there... There we go. Cool, well if anyone wants to stick around and go say hello to Callow Creation, who's also doing Unity plus Twitch integration stuff, please come with me. And thanks so much for hanging out. Bye.
What? Is what come 9, eh? Boy, is Mr. Talk.